Hey everybody, are you having problems with your double stroke roll? Is one hand not the same as the other? Are your diddles sloppy? Hopefully today I'm going to get you to start evening all that out. Everything's going to get smoother, everything's going to get cleaner with one beginning exercise. And I actually don't care how clean or advanced you think you are. Try going back and working through this with me. Working through the concept. I think it'll help improve no matter where you are, no matter how great your roll is. I still work on these exercises and I've been loving them ever since I found out about them. So let's get into it. Okay, here we go. The exercise that I'm going to be showing you today comes from a book called Gridding Concepts for the Marching Snare Drum. Now, some of you play drum set. Some of you will be like, I have no interest in this whatsoever because it's marching snare drum, I don't do it. I highly suggest you follow along with this and practice along with me, do the exercises. It is going to clean up your hands around the drum set, around anything percussion. We've been using it here at school. It has taken struggling players and made them much better in a very quick amount of time. There's always room for improvement. So, I highly suggest going through it with us. Just adding this thing to it. Who cares if it says marching snare drum? It's a drum. Those are drums. This is a drum. It's good for everything. All right. So this book has 10 weeks of exercises. They suggest you go, hey, here's exercise 1, do it for a week. Here's exercise 2, do it for a week. Here's exercise 3, blah, 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 all the way through 10 weeks. They also have in there very specific tempo markings that you need to check off. These tempo markings go from crazy slow to crazy fast. And I suggest starting at its slowest tempo, which is 30 beats a minute. Crazy slow. And just make sure your hands are good. If you can jump from 30 to 50, 50 to 70, 70 to 90, fantastic. That is awesome. But start at the slowest one. Make sure you're doing it right. That's the beauty of this exercise. Okay, that's the beauty of this book, to be honest, or this concept that they came up with. All right, so I'm just going to play for you week 1. Just one of the exercises. I'm not going to go through the whole book today, but this one exercise can really start to improve your doubles. And say you're right-handed and your left hand stinks, or you're left-handed and your right hand stinks. This is going to help even out all of that. You want to start with the slowest tempo, which is 30 beats a minute. Set your metronome at 30. If you're using your phone and you have a metronome on your phone, set it to 30 and then set it for 16th notes. Because the exercise we're going to play is in 16th notes, and that way you are playing with every single click at this crazy slow tempo. And you're going to find out where your hands sit real fast, okay? So what this grid does is it's straight 16th notes, accents on 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way through. And the diddle moves through the 16th notes every so often. Okay, so it starts moving through. It's always on the beat for a measure, then it's always on the E for a measure, then it's always on the and for a measure, then it's always on the for a measure. Therefore, it's on the number, it's on the E, it's on the and, it's on the so it keeps switching back and forth, and you can specifically focus on each one of your hands and making sure that you are getting the exact same sound in your double, so that you don't have one big note and one small note. You want them to be exactly the same as much as possible. Okay, and at this tempo, it's an easy thing to do. All right, so We're going to go through it. I've got my metronome set to 30. I've got it set to 16th notes. And we're going to play this exercise, okay? So follow along. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, E, and 4, E, and okay? You might have noticed halfway through, it switched from a whole measure to a half a measure, and then it switched to every beat changing, okay? There's also a couple of repeat lines in there too, which I did not play today, but I would suggest you do play it. I just decided for brevity of this video, you're probably gonna get bored hearing me play that. Anyway, so now you're probably going, okay, so you got this big accent on one and nothing else. Russman, you never played a big accent with your left hand. So the concept is to go back through the whole exercise and do it left hand lead. Okay, do it left hand lead. I suggest it. The book suggests it. Okay, so always start another round with your left hand. It would look like this. 1, 2, 3, E, and 4. Oh, I totally counted that wrong. 1, 2, 3, E, and 4, E, and and so on. I only played it halfway through that time. When you land that, record yourself, listen back and go, are my doubles exactly the same? Okay, am I playing 2 exactly the same doubles with my left and 2 exact same doubles with my right? If you get through the whole exercise, move the tempo up. They move theirs up by 4 every so often. I'm gonna push this one up to 50. We were at 30. So now we're going to be at 50. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you're going to get an idea of how this works, okay? So here's 50 right-handed. Those are our 16th notes. 1, 2, 3, E, and 4, E, and 1. Okay, again, you're 50, do it left-handed. Always do it left-handed. Always switch hands. You know, you can move it up to 7. You know, it goes up by 4s, like I said, but we're going to push it to 70. 16th notes. 1, 2, ready, and go, E, and That was 70, and again, do it left-handed. Now, that is considered from 30 to 70 by the book, beginner. Okay? And I actually think it's pretty close to being a beginner. Once my students get the concept of what's going on at the slow speeds, moving it up isn't that big of a deal. All right. Then they have an intermediate tempo range and then a advanced tempo range, which is crazy fast, by the way. But just doing a grid like this, just to separate your diddle so you can concentrate. What is my right hand doing? Is my right hand good? And is my left hand good? Or is my right hand good and my left hand doesn't sound like my right? What's the problem? And you're able to fix it at those slower tempos. Okay. I'm going to put a link to this book, to their website where you can purchase the book, down in the description of the video. I highly suggest this 10-week course. Your hands will be so much better with this one book in 10 weeks. Even if all you get through is the beginning level, you will have upped your game considerably, okay? And then if you're intermediate, go to the intermediate tempos. You are going to get better. There is no doubt about this. Your doubles and your doubles over certain rhythms are just going to be better. It's going to be better on snare drum. It's going to be better on drum set. Your right hand is going to be like way smoother. Your fills, all that other stuff. So again, I'm going to put it down in the description. If you want it, click the link, go get yourself a copy. All right, folks, thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for, playing along. Hopefully you tried it with me. If you like what I'm doing here, I'd appreciate a subscribe and hit that like button. Also share the video if you know some people that could use some help. And in the comments, do you have issues with your double stroke roll? Or is one of your hands off? Let me know down in the comment section. And until the next time, take care, everybody.